held captive media fans. We're back again. I got Zane. I got Franny. And today we're talking about some, of course, Marvel. Like it's a fucking surprise at this point. We're talking about Marvel news, specifically Miss Marvel. Now, Franny, you have a quote for us?
Yep.
And that quote is?
It comes from comicbook.com. The first season of Miss Marvel has ended, and the Disney Plus series is the best-rated project Marvel Studios has ever released. Using scores from Rotten Tomatoes Tomato Meter as a baseline, the series has settled in at a 98% certified fresh rating. The best Black Panther's previous high of 96% certified fresh.
Yeah, so it literally, the only thing that was even remotely close to that stratosphere was Black Panther before it, and now this has become the highest rated, as far as critical review, MCU project of all time, and one of the lowest rated fan reviews, user reviews of all time as well. So that's an interesting dichotomy. Now, I have my opinions on why that might be, and it might involve people being Islamophobic, but hey, maybe I'm stepping out of term here. But you guys hear that. Both of you have experienced Miss Marvel. You've finished the whole show, Zane, and Franny just watched a little bit of it. Yeah. I've just got questions in regards to what did you think of the show, and what do you think of this critical reception? Let's start with you, Zane.
So as far as the critical reviews, I think it's definitely worthy of it. Now, I thought there were a couple of times that, like, it seemed for pacing's sake that a few things were glossed over, but in the grand scheme of things, it still flowed really well. It was a lot of fun. I think that as far as, like, the separation between the critic and the fan review, yeah, there is there's always
it was very public that the review got review bombed. Like, it got review bombed.
People went through, review bombed it and everything. But also, you've got a lot of people who have been talking about the fact that they're like, oh, this is cringy or whatever because it's about teenagers. And
as if Spider-Man's not about teenagers.
Yeah, and it's like, what are you guys talking about? Like, they're going through and they're trying to make these weird critiques.
It's like, you fuckers usually like mutant teenage turtles, for fuck's sake. You can't handle somebody who looks a little different than you, who's still a human being. This is crazy. Why is it so hard to accept?
It's like trying to see, like, most of the people who are going in and review bombing are. Hate to take shots at any specific groups or anything, but it's middle-aged white dudes, and they're seeing a teenage girl be a nerd, and they're like, but I'm nerd. You can't be nerd because you look different than me.
Yeah, like, I'm sure a lot of them kind of look like that one, like, Minecraft guy who's just like, you know, the fucking typey dude.
Yeah.
And, okay, so
like, this show wasn't good at all.
I forgot to mention, by the way, I loved the show. I'll defend it. I'm not going to get into the review because we should have a review coming up here. I believe
next week.
Next week on a Tuesday. Be on the lookout for it. It'll be going up at freaking 5 a.m. Eastern time. So be looking out for that. It'll be up all day. It's not just there for 1 second. So if that's too early, don't wake up and just watch it later, please.
Right.
But I do think that one of the criticisms I've heard about the show, I think can be spread across any of the criticisms, but it's the only one that, like, I think is landing in, like, a large way, is how people are saying the show is too short because Disney basically puts out 6 episodes of something and is like, that's a full series, as if it's not just like a split up movie.
Yeah.
But that's a criticism of Disney and Bob Chapek and all that stuff, but let's just move aside from that. Now, Franny, you have only the pilot to interpret from because you didn't get to watch the rest of the show, but what were your thoughts on it?
I watched more than just the pilot. I watched, like, the next episode with you.
I don't remember that, but you might have. You might have not. I don't know.
But I thought it was all right. I feel like it is kind of aimed at a younger audience, and I could see, like, a lot of the older fans, like, why they probably wouldn't like it because of that. It sucks that people are being shitty and racist about it, though.
Yeah.
And, like, anti-feminist about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm always excited to see a female lead, and especially one that, like, is representative of a different, like, not just a fucking white lady or man, honestly.
The best parts of the show really don't even lay into, like, the superhero-y stuff.
Right.
It's all about the inner culture of the people, of where she lives and the people in her lives, and how it's such a different, culture for me to understand, but I still can relate in the way where, like, there's little intricacies that people do, and and people interact with each other that you can relate to. Like the way that her parents are kind of judgy of the person she is. That's a universal story, whether it's told through a lens that you're familiar with or not. I think the best stories take a different story you're not familiar with, but make it relatable to you. And that's what the show did for me.
So, little peek behind the curtain, producer Lacey, not a huge fan of a lot of superhero stuff. I get it. It can be.
But they all saw the Doctor Strange review. They know
it can be a lot for anybody to like run in at. But the way that I sold her on getting her to check this one out was telling her, I'm like, straight up, like, yeah, this is technically a superhero thing. This is a coming of age story. Like, this is absolutely what it is. Miss Marvel is easily one of my favorite comic book characters because, like, I love those, like, learning the proper responsibility that your powers take. And, like, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, and Kamala Khan do great job. Like, the younger, not older Peter Parker, that's starting to get sad, but, like, a lot of the... They keep ruining his life, and I'm like, just let the man be an adult, but whatever. But no, like Miles Morales, Kamala Khan, especially for the new wave of Marvel Comics, they are such great coming-of-age stories, allowing you to see, even though, like, Miles Morales is half black, half Mexican, Kamala Khan is Pakistani, but it still lets you see it's like, yes, they might not look just like you, or they might look a lot like you, and it might be great to see somebody that looks like you, but you get to see, even though things are different, we've all got those common threads. We've all got a mom who doesn't get our interest. We've all got a big brother. Yeah,
sorry guys, sorry.
It's just nice for more kids to be able to see
dead mom
themselves.
jokes.
Yeah, sorry. No, it's not really just accurate depiction.
It's nice for more kids to be able to see themselves in these
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Ways that they're kind of diversifying it a ton more than when we were kids.
And when they pull from like more modern comics, you're getting more modern interpretations too, where
Right.
I think them pulling newer stuff, and I know we shit on El Muerte in a different video, but I hope that it takes this kind of peek at it and does something that's like, okay, a modern character actually fits well into the modern parlance. Who would have thought, you know?
Yeah.
Like, big shock. I just I found the show really entertaining. I hope you guys stick around for the review that'll be up on next Tuesday. So that's really exciting. Or the following Tuesday after this video comes out, actually. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add to it?
Well, so there is one critique that I have heard from fans of like Hindu and Muslim faith.
Okay.
That do actually have a partial problem with it. From here, the next minute or so is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for
should we do that then? Episode 2, okay. Episode 2 is fine.
For episode 2.
Are you sure we shouldn't just save this for the review, though?
That's kind of where I'm at.
Let's save it for the review.
You know what? You guys have to check out our review
Tuesday
to get this little tidbit.
Fraser, anything else you wanted to add?
No, I mean, I think this is one I'll go back and finish.
Yeah, I think you should, especially since we
Yeah.
didn't spoil it for you. And she's not going to be on that review because obviously she hasn't finished it, but you know, maybe you can update people eventually on what you thought about it.
For sure.
Guys, but we want to make sure that you stay updated. So make sure to subscribe, hit that bell, slap the motherfucking shit out of that bell, baby, and the like button, and leave down in the comments below what you guys want us to cover. And also, remember, just from Miss Marvel, and just a good rule that I learned for myself is good is not something you are. It's something you do. Thanks, guys.
That was adorable.
Hey, Held Captain Media fans, we're back, and today we're here to talk about movies, but also, in a sense, kind of video games, which is cool. Zane, you have a quote for us?
Yeah, so this is from Joe Blow. Is that the actual name of the...
Yeah, Joe Blow.
Okay, right on.
Oh my God, we're a film channel. You don't even know what Joe Blow is. Continue.
No, I'm the worst.
Definitely.
While the world waits with bated breath for Chris Pratt to reveal his Mario voice for Super Mario Bros., the movie Nintendo is munching on super mushrooms and growing their brand in the film industry. According to recent documents, Nintendo is on track to acquire Dynamo Pictures, a CG animation company that will become Nintendo Pictures. Once the transformation is complete, the studio plans to adapt more of Nintendo's IPs. Nintendo has not revealed what properties the studio intends to adopt.
Okay, so it's a lot to soak in. Basically, there was an animation studio that Nintendo came across, little danced right on by. And it's like, you know what? We're going to buy that shit. And what we're going to do is we're going to re-outfit it and put out our own IP. Now, this is not in relation to the Super Mario Bros. Movie that's already in the works. But this is about the future of the franchise. And I think, first of all, it's super exciting. I mean, Nintendo properties have to be the single most popular video game properties on the planet. It's without discussion. Everybody knows who the fuck Mario is. Some people pronounce it Mario, but those people are wrong. And I love the fact that we're going to be getting movies from this IP. I mean, I've heard rumors of a Metroid movie, or obviously, Legend of Zelda, which is obviously the one that Zane's like, I gotta do Legend of Zelda. All right, so you guys hear that Nintendo, of all people, is going to start making, it seems, animated films. My first question is, what's an animated film you guys want to see created? And also, what's a live action film that you'd want them to make? Like, what's something from Nintendo property that you want to see living, meat bags walk around and pretend to do? Franny, let's start with you.
I want to see an Animal Crossing
Oh, that'd be cute as fuck.
Right?
Oh my god. Yeah. But it's got to be like Minions. It's got to be like for babies. Because it is so sweet and innocent.
I don't know.
What are they going to do? Like a fucking PG, like what Tom Nook's going to be like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm done building this fucking stuff. Like, where are you going to even fit in anything past the little kid?
The old games were a lot sassier, though.
Really?
But the old games were ridiculous.
But if you're selling a fucking Animal Crossing movie, you're selling it to New Horizons fans because it's the most popular Animal Crossing game of all time. And one of the most influential games of all time because everyone during COVID played that shit.
But the biggest complaint with New Horizons has been that all of the animals seem the same, that it doesn't get as much benefit for swapping out your islands. I don't play Animal Crossing that much. It's not my kind of game, but producer Lacey absolutely loves it, and that is one of the things that she's told me a lot about is like showing me things from like the old games where they're just like savages. They're like, oh really, cool. You wore that outfit, have fun decorating the town. And it's like they would like just go into
they're
you.
like bruh.
Awesome.
They're like, oh, I could really tell that you were the one who decorated the town square. Like, just mean shit.
No,
and I'm
it's just like a dark take on Animal Crossing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Tom Nook is corrupt.
Animals crossed. They're just all like, I
You're like
fucking
stranded on this island of talking animals.
I'm all anthropomorphic and pissed off and shit. Like, what kind of movie are we talking about here? Of course, it's got to be cute and childlike. Yeah. They're little cute creatures with adorable shirts like this on. I love it. But anyway, so do you want to see that anime? Well, what's something live action Nintendo you want to see? Do you want like a Mario Kart Fast and Furious style? Like,
yes. Oh my god.
Okay.
I can't think of anything I want to see live action from this. It's kind of weird.
That's kind of where I want it, because there was a live action Mario movie and most people don't talk about it.
I mean, I guess if they redid something like that.
I loved that one. The live action movie.
You did?
It was. I didn't love it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I loved it just to goof on.
It's good.
Yeah.
Bruh.
It's a room level. Yeah, it's upsetting. I love it.
It's got fucking what's his name in it. The other one, there's two actors I fucking hate. There's Michael Pena and John Leguizamo.
Yeah.
I cannot fucking stand John Leguizamo. Anyway, he plays Luigi. He's terrible in it. And Bob Hoskins, right? Was that who played Mario? You don't even remember. Who cares?
I cannot. I didn't.
All right.
I don't remember that.
Zane, you're hearing this. You love Nintendo. You were one of the earliest people I knew to get a Switch. So the question comes to you. You hear that they're making these movies. What's an animated film you want them to make? And if you had the power, nay, the bravery, to make a live action Nintendo movie, what would it be?
So, animated. I want to see the in-between time, because technically Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask were supposed to be one game. I want to see them animate the story that goes between that. I think that'd be fucking wild.
Wouldn't it just be like him riding through the woods on Epona, or is there more to it?
No,
than that?
there's supposed to be a distinct switch between those two games.
Yeah.
That because it was supposed to be first act and second act, they were going to build a little plot line to go there to join the two, but because the studio ended up splitting them into two games,
See, I didn't
they
even
just
know
gave
that.
it a full.
Let me tell you
cut.
what I heard, and obviously you seem to have more of your thumb on the pulse, but I heard
And
that,
also, it's always speculation. So there's yeah.
I heard that the game just like they wanted to put out another game, and they just reused a lot of sources from the first game, and then made a game through those elements. I don't know if that's true.
No, so it was.
But it was supposed to be just so Majora's Mask and Ocarina were supposed to be. It does make sense because Majora is all about time, and then Ocarina.
Well, it's because it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the transfer. You go from time to they're going over these big general ideas, but that's not what That's not.
I feel like
the thing that I'm more excited about. So that is what I would like animated. The thing that I'm more excited about, the live action.
Yeah.
I want a live action Smash Bros movie.
What
fucking crazy would that be?
What the fuck would that even look like?
It's their Avengers event.
Oh no,
bro!
Stop. No,
but
yes,
but then you gotta what does Kirby look like in live? Like I don't know if I want to see that. Or there's so many problems with
I don't want to see it. That's why I want to see it.
How many Smash Bros characters would they do? And also, is Pokemon considered a Nintendo property? I mean, no, it is, but do they have rights to make animated films with that unit? Because I know that they have given film rights to other companies.
I'm talking about original first 8 characters in that was it any? No, it was SNES.
No, it was 64. Talking about the first Smash Bros?
I thought 64 had the second Smash Bros.
No, that's the first Bros. The second one is on GameCube.
Either way, fuck that original 6-person roster. 6 or 8 character roster.
So Jigglypuffs and Pikachu are both still there, and
Jigglypuff and Pikachu weren't added until Brawl.
They were added in the N64.
I think Pikachu was added. Jigglypuff was
N64.
Okay,
I'm confident.
I thought it was King Dedede.
King Dedede was not added until
Bowser
Brawl.
wasn't added until
King Dedede wasn't added until Brawl.
Yeah.
But you guys are super nerds.
Yeah.
Well, he just keeps saying really wrong information. I don't want him to look stupid.
I
So
know
I'm
that they were
correcting it.
originally there were talks about adding Dr. Mario, but then that got cut.
Dr. Mario got moved to
Melee,
which was the second game.
Correct.
So the first game was.
But I want an Avengers style movie after they've made other movies. So this is 5 years down the line for the Nintendo property.
Oh,
but
no. So
I
you
want
each.
You know what's
character to
fucked
have
up?
their
yeah,
own-
I want
think-
each character to have their own.
I think
Their
your
own live
idea.
action.
I think your idea is really bad, and I think it's the only one that might actually happen.
I know.
The thing is, I could see a Zelda thing being live action.
Yeah, Zelda would be great
No,
live
I don't
action.
want- I feel like Zelda's too goofy to be live action.
They could definitely.
What are you
make
talking
it live
about? They made
action.
Lord of the Rings. It's like the
Yeah.
same shit.
I don't want to see. I don't want to see Legend of. I've already seen Twilight Princess. I don't want to see it go any more real than that.
Yeah. I think I would want. Now, there was a rumor that a Metroid movie was in the works based on a tweet from a previous person who worked there. I think a live action Metroid would be really fucking good. Really good and scary.
Who would you cast to play Samus?
To play Samus. That's tough, dude. I don't even fucking know.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that, but yeah.
Obviously, after, I don't know how good, I haven't seen Thor yet, but Natalie Portman's buffed the fuck out. She'd make a good Samus. I think she would be great at it. If they wanted to go younger, I could see, a Florence Pugh, Samus could be good. So, yeah, that's one thing I'd want to see in animation or live action. And then another one, I don't even know if it's technically... But isn't there a game from the NES called Ghouls and Goblins with a really insane, dark, fucked up story or some shit? I'd love to see them adapt that. I want to see the weirder, because if they're an animation studio, they can't just put out Mario movies. They have to put out multiple things.
I don't know what Castlevania was the only thing that was coming to my head for Ghouls.
Castlevania's not theirs,
no.
but it is, and it is Nintendo related.
It's NES,
but it's not a Nintendo property. What's that, Fran?
Like instead of like Super Smash Bros, like make it like Saw style, like they're all trying to escape together.
Fuck Christ.
Wait, what about what's the one what is the name of Ness's game franchise? I always forget.
Earthbound.
Earthbound would be a great movie franchise.
That would be a great live action.
You could make it like Super 8.
Yeah.
Or you could do
and Earthbound, like the backstory, it's definitely what was it?
It's science fiction heavy.
No.
I mean, in that sense.
The one with Sans and Undertale.
Undertale
was super heavily influenced by like even the writing style was inspired by Earthbound because they were like, hey, here's this really cutesy world, but there's really dark shit underneath, and I think that they could do an amazing like horror thing with that. That would be awesome, and not a lot of people are super plugged into
that or Fire Emblem would make a good live action too, just because it's so
Fire Emblem. Yeah,
it'd be like the Crown with swords. Yeah, the Crown with swords, essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, guys, you hear us just speculate and fangasm all over the place and just absolutely blowing these properties. Now, guys, what would you want to see turned into an animation or even a live action movie? Leave it down in the comments below and make sure to like, subscribe, and it's a me, Mario. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything what's a good Nintendo catchphrase? I don't think there is one. If I'm just Kirby, just so anyway, guys, thank you so much. Peace out. Hey there, goblins and ghouls and otherwise grotesque creatures of the night. We're here to talk about Rob Zombie's The Munsters. I actually have a quote here from Joe Blow, a little update if you guys haven't been following. So, we've known for a while that The Munsters is probably going to bypass the theatrical release. A release through Universal streaming service Peacock seemed like a strong possibility, but that's not where The Munsters is going. Zombie has taken to social media to confirm that the movie is going to be released through the Netflix streaming service. It continues on to say, the trailer promises that The Munsters will be released sometime in September. Okay, so the trailer came out. People are having opinions. And people fucking hate it. People really... So let me give you some perspective. So the movie's budget was $40 million, okay? $40 million. That's a pretty sizable budget for a streaming movie already. But given the IP and who the director was, not a lot of people batted an eye. They assumed that it was going to be some sort of weird take. And I have to be honest. I watched the trailer, and I'm not super excited for it either. But I also have two people here with me who also watched the trailer. So, Franny, let me start out with you. You watched the Munsters trailer. What did you think of everything on display?
I had really high hopes because I like Rob Zombie movies.
And the Munsters. You like both.
And the Munsters. I like both. I didn't expect it to be too serious, but maybe like a little bit because of who the director was.
Yeah, I mean, he made us just Devil's Rejects and Halloween 2, the movie with the white horse. I mean, that shit, he's definitely been more brutal in the past, so.
Yeah. I'm still excited for it, and I feel like I'm going to take it for what it is. I just wish it was going to be better than what it looks like.
Yeah, that's the hope, right? Hope springs eternal. For all we know.
I really want it to be good.
Maybe he put out this trailer as like a meme. He's like, I'll make him think it's bad. But then it won't be.
I think it's going to be lighter than we all want it to be. But I think that could be all right. I don't
even think
it could be okay.
For me, the lightness isn't the issue, but we'll get into it. Zane, you watched the Munsters trailer.
I loved that trailer.
What?
Dude, it was so good.
You're out of your fucking mind.
It was pure fucking goof. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, Rob Zombie, he's like, dude, he does things serious and gritty. Dude, I had a... Literally the whole time, like that's the music's awesome. Playing to that trailer, I'm bopping to it.
They got
it's so fucking goofy.
If you ever want to prove that Zane's a consumer, they fucking put on the theme music and he's like, doo. Listen, dude. The sound quality is bad. The production design is bad. We're talking about a $40 million movie.
Oh yeah, the costuming is awful.
It's bad. It's not like cute like the Munsters to where it's like, no, it's the period, or oh, it's niche and they're trying to be goofy. No, like it looks bad. Even if you're trying to be fun, it looks bad.
But like it still could be fun.
It reminds me a lot of Rocky Horror and Little Shop of Horrors. where
That's funny.
it's that real goofy. They might still add a few little dark things.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna add dark shit, you don't put that shit front and center. Like, yeah, if it was a Grindhouse film, you could be like, this is gonna be dark. It's the fucking Munsters. Like, they're gonna be goofy with it. There's probably gonna be some other shit. Same way that, like,
well, let's point out some of the obvious factors here. For one, I don't have a problem with movies like. In fact, I was in Rocky Horror, for the record. I literally did Rocky Horror on stage for years, and I love A Little Shop of Horrors. The difference between the goofiness of those trailers and those movies and the supposed goofiness of this movie and the definite goofiness of this fucking trailer is that one looks like it was done by like professionals who want to put on like a kitschy fun movie with puppets and shit. And the other one looks like a bunch of drunk people making a YouTube video. Like us. Like if it'd be like if we made a Munsters movie, except ours might be better. I was really, really turned off by this trailer. Not because of any of the jokes or any of the kookiness, but because like I could hear audio quality issues in the trailer. And also, you know, it's going to streaming for a reason. They paid $40 million with different intentions of where it was going to go. And then all of a sudden it's going on streaming and it's not even going on our company streaming service. We're going to sell that shit to Netflix.
See, but Netflix also dropped, what was it, Adam Project and Red Notice?
Yeah,
like
those were their own, but those movies were produced by Netflix. Like the intention was always to have it somewhat come into Netflix. And that's why Netflix has been putting out a theatrical release window for some movies, because they make some good movies. But this was made by a different studio and then sold to Netflix. And Netflix is like, we're not going to put this in theater. We're going to put this shit on streaming.
There was another movie that Netflix just dropped like a few months ago that they bought from a...
And also, if The Munsters is as good as The Adam Project, I'll still be disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I liked The Adam Project, but we're talking about The Munsters here. We're talking about a beloved property from a lot of people who really adored it and adore the time machine that it is. And I just think it's a really bad trailer. But I could be wrong. The movie could be the shit. I haven't seen it yet.
I hope it is good. I want it to
Hope
be good.
springs eternal.
Literally, like all of the goofiness in that reminds me, like, it just... The whole time it reminded me of the scene where Frankenfurter is jumping between the two beds, where he's like getting with the wife, getting with the husband, and just like real goofy slapstick, dumb. Like it felt funny and like it was trying to be.
The editing at the beginning of it too, like the way that they showed like this like shitty graveyard and just put like the old announcer with like the text. Like, I should have liked that, but the way it was oriented in the video just made it feel like a shitty, angry video game nerd video. Like, it just was not what I'd expect from a 40 million... Like, I'm okay with kitsch. I'm talking about the quality of the trailer.
So what it felt like to me is it felt like they've got, like, probably like a montage moment in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, and that's pretty much what it showed us, was little excerpts from that.
I don't know. There was stuff in black and white and there was stuff in color.
Well, yeah.
It's got a little bit of... I'm sure it comes throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. And I'm sure that they're going to be doing, like, as far as, like, it's Rob Zombie. He's going to be doing different weird cinematography stuff with it. But as far as, like, what they showed, I think that they kept a lot of things very close to the chest.
Yeah, I believe that. There's not a whole lot of plot in this trailer.
Yeah, no.
But that could be because they're trying to hide how bad the plot is. Or... It could be because they're trying to hide how good the plot is.
Yeah, hopefully.
But the natural... We just... Now, not speaking for me or Zane specifically, the internet's reaction, wildly negative. I would say that you're probably the first person I've spoken to, internet or in person or otherwise, that has had a positive thing to say about it. So the general idea is that the audience reaction's been bad so far. So then that kind of begs the question, are people still going to watch this on Netflix? Is it still, like, does it even have a chance to be a hit with such a monumentally hated trailer? Because who knows? Like you said, maybe it's good. It very well could be. I've been wrong before. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And is there anything else you guys wanted to add to this discussion? Or
no, I mean, I'm definitely not like as positive as Zane is on it, but I want it to be good. I'm not as negative as you are on it either.
Well, you say me, but I am fully ready for this movie to be good. Let me just clarify.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. And if I am, tell me why in the comments.
See, when you told me you were like, the internet's really upset about this trailer, I was expecting something like the
I know, maybe I shouldn't have framed it for you. You know, maybe I should have just let you watch it. But
I had a good time watching the trailer. I'm like, this is going to be goofy. They're definitely not showing me everything. It's Rob Zombie.
Really,
like,
anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the whole trailer. Like, it seemed like they were trying to show things that it's like, oh, look at this progression. But it felt like a montage moment where they could fake how much they're showing, where it's like, oh, well, like, you're seeing them meet, you're seeing them this happen, you're seeing them meet the neighbor, you're seeing these. Like, it seemed like one of those things where it's like, oh, look at how much we're showing you about the movie, and they're not showing you anything about the movie.
Barely anything at all.
And it's literally just like they're showing some goofy moments so that if they do add in some darker or weirder stuff, like, it hits better. That's one of the things that I always have issues with trailers anymore nowadays, is that half the time, like, easily my favorite trailer was the Super 8 trailer, where literally the only thing that happens, you see the train wreck, you hear the thudding on the door, and then the door springs open. Super 8. That was it. Didn't tell you anything.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I loved that movie.
And
I
it
didn't
built
remember that
so
trailer.
much
Well,
hype.
that, you know, JJ's a fucking genius. And, you know, and I've said in the past that Rob Zombie, I mean, like, as dreadful as some of his movies are to watch, it's in a good way. It's the way it's intended to be. All of your uncomfortableness that is attached to a Rob Zombie picture is important. And that's why I'm kind of wondering if maybe there's a chance that he's trying to make a trailer that people hate.
That's what I got out of it.
But
That's
at the same time, why? Why would you want people to hate your first trailer? It just doesn't make any sense to me personally, especially with such a big budget. But anyway,
But
guys,
also think about how much people talked about the Sonic movie after they dropped that awful trailer. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, they were probably planning on putting out bad Sonic, but a lot of Hollywood could have seen, because the Sonic movie did amazingly after they did all those like re-edits of the CGI. Like, it did gangbusters.
Well, to be fair, they also re-edited the movie. They took out Gangster's Paradise. There was a lot of things that they changed about that movie before it came out. Rob Zombie is not going to listen to any. He's really like into what his vision, and that's cool. But I promise you that the negative reception he's receiving, he is like, and.
But I'm saying, I think he could have put this out to purposefully get negative reception to create more talk about the movie.
Maybe. I mean, here, the movie's shot and finished, so we'll have to, guys, just let us know in the comments what you think. Clearly, this is a thicker subject than we had anticipated. So please let us know. Did you actually like the trailer? Do we not? Do I not know what the fuck I'm talking about? Or is Zane insane and that was the worst trailer you've ever seen? Let us know down in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe to check out more ridiculous stories like this. Peace out, kids. Hey fans, welcome back. At least Marvel fans, I hope, if you're watching this video. Otherwise, I don't know if you're going to like it very much. One of the things that's been talked about so much, especially since Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness with Mr. Spoilers, John Krasinski dancing onto the scene. Everybody's been wondering what's going to happen with Fantastic Four now that Marvel owns Fox Studios. I mean, they have the rights to the characters, obviously putting one in Doctor Strange. And I have a little bit of a speculative update coming to us from Comic Book Resources, aka CBR.com. Marvel Studios will unveil the Fantastic Four reboots cast at D23 Expo in 2022, if the new rumor is to be believed anyway. Studio president Kevin Feige will announce who will play Marvel's first family at Disney's biannual fan event, reports the Diz Insider show. The alleged scoop claims that Feige will officially confirm who will direct the upcoming Marvel Cinematic Universe film after Spider-Man No Way Home director John Watts had left the project to work on Star Wars. It's worth noting that neither Marvel Studios nor Disney have publicly commented on whether Fantastic Four will be included as a part of the D23 panel. Now, they add that at the end, but if Kevin Feige doesn't talk about Fantastic Four at D23, what the fuck are they doing? It's like the only thing that they can really like officially come up with and announce at this point. I mean, so much had been pushed back because of COVID that films came out so much later that like what kind of press can they do except for like the only movie that they haven't given all the details for, which is Fantastic Four. Now, there's been a lot of casting speculations, everything from, Penn Badgley from Up to Jason Segel from How I Met Your Mother playing the Thing.
Penn Badgley from Up.
Sorry, my bad.
And Gossip Girl.
And Gossip Girl, you're right. And Gossip Girl, that's true. Not most importantly. And then the Jason Segel thing is like they're saying he's going to be in court in She-Hulk, and they're going to introduce Ben Grimm that way in She-Hulk to introduce the Thing into the MCU, essentially. We'll see if that's true or if it's all speculation. There's tons of speculation out there. Even Joe Keery from Stranger Things, people are saying might become the Human Torch. These are all from different outlets getting supposed leaked sources. But one thing I can tell you is true is they have to say something about it at D23.
Yeah.
Egg on my face if they don't. But Franny,
what is D23? Really?
It's Disney's like expo for all things Disney coming out, whether it be the film side.
So it's become basically like huge Marvel.
Well, it's more than that. They do some Star Wars stuff, and they do anything really Disney related.
Disney owns the world
does
at this
own
point.
everything
So
now,
yeah, it's basically their
Disney
version
owns
of
Fox
E3.
Searchlight. They could do fucking like shitty indie pictures about like French cinema if they wanted at D23.
Wow.
They own everything. So I think producer Lacey might have a question, but I don't. Okay, whatever. Anyway,
I'm excited to find out the casting.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's going to determine how the movie is.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting. Some people really want John Krasinski to be the Reed Richards in this universe.
I don't really care for real if it's him. I think he's a great actor, and I think he'd do the role really well.
He already did it once.
Yeah, true. But
Twice,
I mean, only for like 5
minutes.
Twice,
yeah. No, because he was in Fan 4 Stick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was that. That was why it was a big reveal.
Wait, what? No, he wasn't. He wasn't in Fan 4 Stick. You're talking about Miles Teller played Mr. Fantastic. The reason why John Krasinski was Reed Richards is because there was a huge online campaign to make John Krasinski Reed Richards.
No,
he was never been Reed Richards before that moment.
Fake fan.
Not
fan.
even a.
Bruh.
He doesn't even.
Not even a real
know comic book stuff.
Nope.
I don't even care that I had to reach across the screen to do that because you guys are not utilizing that soundboard enough.
Fuck.
That was a bruh moment for sure.
Let me just throw myself in the pit.
Anyway, so yeah, you don't really care who they cast. You just want to hear it already. What do you think about Joe Keery as a Human Torch? Would that be something you're interested in?
Who is that?
That's Steve on Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah, I like him.
Yeah.
You want him to do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, there's no way that he'd be Human Torch and then Ben Grimm would be Jason Segel, though. I would love if that were true.
But why not? I love How I Met Your Mother. That's why I started to split my hair this way. Is because did I tell you that somebody came up to me and they're like, I was talking to them in the grocery store. I was trying to help. They were asking me something.
It seems unrelated to Fantastic Four, but okay.
It is. But they walked up to me and they were like, you remind me a lot of Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. And I was like, I don't even know how to take that.
Franny and I get Marshall and Lily all the time.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, no, I want Jason. I want him in the.
Want him in the movie. Put him in the movie. Why not?
Put him in the movie.
You got the money. Put him in the movie,
kid.
Let me. Okay, this is good. This is going off the rails.
Derailed.
Let me just bring it back just a little bit. I know that one of the disputed directors that people wanted to do was have Steven Spielberg direct it. I fucking very much doubt that would ever happen. Although at one point he almost directed a Fantastic Four movie decades ago. But you're hearing all of this. What direction do you want the Fantastic Four film franchise to go? And how do you want it to interact with the overall MCU? Still asking Franny. We'll get to you in a second, Zane.
I think it sucks that it's going to get so hard to jump in on the Marvel movies, and this is just adding more to it.
Or less. I mean, it is an origin story for characters. I mean, they could really keep it an isolated story if they wanted.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to make it an isolated story.
But later introduce it more to the MCU?
Yeah.
So one of the things that Kevin Feige has said is that there are going to be no more large scale, Avenger level events.
Well, of course he's going to say that, but eventually it is going to happen again. But yeah,
he said that that the studio has no plans to try to get everybody on.
No.
It doesn't make sense anymore. It's getting too large.
They need to rebuild it again to that point.
What they have kind of started to make the push over to is what they have in the comics, which you've got your street level heroes, you've got your earth level heroes, meaning they cover anything that happens in the globe, and then you've got your like cosmic level heroes. That's like
Thor,
your
Captain Marvel,
Thor. Yeah, you've got the people running around out in space. You got the people who are handling like world
major,
disasters, and then you've got like street levels like Spider-Man. You've got Daredevil. You've got Miss Marvel
She feels
jumps
street
between.
level, but I guess I
it's
gotta
the same.
finish it.
It's the same way that Spider-Man jumps between street level and world.
Yeah.
They can kind of transfer, but the more that they kind of start to segregate those, you lessen that jump on point.
Yeah.
Because people are able to, they're like, oh, well, this is like a street level story. So I just need to know about like what's happening with like these two other characters that are going to appear in it. And I think that Marvel and Disney in general has seen how rough it's getting for people to jump into some of these series. So like, it is something that I'm hopeful for the future.
I also think that Marvel's biggest issue right now is just their marketing. I feel like they just are marketing everything wrong because of Bob Chapek, and that's another reason why people are getting pissed off, because now it's like the movies that like the entry point for the movies aren't even as scary as some people think. Like you can enjoy them. I think there is a little bit of that, and definitely especially more notable with like Doctor Strange, because of WandaVision and everything. But it's also the marketing now. Like, they're showing you so much in these trailers now. They literally, they're showing Miss Marvel spoilers in the Disney Plus spots on television. Like, actively. So, that's been a big problem. So, all right, I think we've gotten that. So Zane, you're hearing some of the fan speculations of casting. Who are you wanting as your Fant 4 stick? And is Miles Teller or John Krasinski in? Because I'm a little confused. Poor Miles Teller out there. He's like, what the fuck?
He's like, oh no.
It was me who was in that bad movie.
It's like that guy with 30 views on the internet. I really care what he thinks.
Depends on the video.
Depends on the video. Sometimes we get up to 100.
300.
Yeah.
400.
But no, so as far as like, I think it would be great to have John Krasinski in there just because having an older Reed Richards means you can do storylines with like.
You just want it to be an older Ben Grimm so it can be fucking Jason Segel, isn't it? Isn't that what it is?
No, I'm saying because I'm like, are they going to, because they're talking about like, they're talking about the first family and everything. Are they going to introduce the Power Pack?
That's a good question, honestly.
Because like in Doctor Strange, he mentions having kids.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that I'm guessing that they're not going to do Krasinski. Now, I could be wrong, but I think the reason why they put him in Doctor Strange was for the hype moment. But at the same time, it's like if they give it to smaller actors like a Joe Keery or a Penn Badgley, they get them at way cheaper. They get them younger, so they get a longer franchise. As well as, like Krasinski, as much as people loved him as Reed Richards, nobody described him as Reed Richards in Doctor Strange. They're like, holy shit, John Krasinski's in Doctor Strange. And I think that that's kind of one of the bigger issues with casting a super mega huge star is like, they're just going to see that star. They're not like, that's my whole argument with Bad Bunny, right? Like, it's like, he's going to be El Muerte, but is anybody going to call it El Muerte? Probably not. So I'm hoping it's like a Penn Badgley type. John Krasinski would be great, so it's not like I'm bitching. I mean, for me, that would work. I'm talking about what I think Disney would do. I very much doubt Jason Segel's going to be Ben Grimm, but if he is, I'll shit my pants.
You can't put that into my world.
I didn't. Listen, the internet put it into my world. There was a couple of. Hold on, let me just pull up some interesting theories I had saved on here.
So
I had some ridiculous ones that I screenshot that I was reading.
See, I'm more thinking just about like which part of
Doctor Doom is apparently going to, according to this fan theory, going to be introduced in Black Panther 2, which is coming out at the end of this year. Don't know if that's true or not, but that's an ongoing theory. And then, also
that's one of the things that if they're wanting to do Secret Wars, having Doctor Doom, although it almost looks like they're putting Kang to start the Secret Wars, there's like. Is a weird, complicated wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff with comics as far as who starts the secret.
That's
war.
why I don't think
But
it'll
yeah.
be Krasinski. I think that they're going to make Fantastic Four an easy entry film. Here's your characters. They're brand new characters. Here's the story. It's a brand new story. By the way, at the very end, we're going to show you how what's going on in the MCU impacted it. You know, I think that that's their goal. I think they're going to be like, here's your story. It is completely an even entry point for you. Because even Kevin Feige said himself, it's going to be one of the few movies that he's going to anchor himself. He's not going to be much a part of it. He's going to give it to a capable director to really morph into what he wants with just small notes. The same way Miss Marvel worked, where the only thing he told that showrunner to do was like do this one little surprise ending. Not going to tell you what it is, but just one little thing. He's basically doing the same thing with Fantastic Four. So
I like that.
I just don't think it could be John Krasinski for that reason. They would have to kind of almost address what happened in the previous movie, even though it's not the same one.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. Guys, what are your thoughts on all these Fantastic Four theories? Do you have somebody in mind that you want to play a specific character? Who are you fan casting to play the first family? Let us know down in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe and keep up on fucking dumb MCU rambling news, because that's what we do here, baby. Peace out.